Hang 10, gnarly, shaka. We all know terms from surf culture. You've heard them most of our lives on TV and elsewhere. I want to talk today a little bit about surfing and the innovation of surfing. Mainly through the innovation of the surf fin and how things have changed there. I've been a surfer for 40 years. I've been around the world, been to 4 different continents surfing. A lot has changed in my time. I want to give you a little bit of history first. The ancient Hawaiians, as we all know, is where surfing came from. They had big wooden planks that they carved out and passed down through the family lineage. These were big, heavy planks. There wasn't much innovation there. They handed things down from grandfather to grandson and on and on and on, and they just took for granted that this is how it was done. Until Hawaiians started to travel. In 1908, according to Popular Mechanics 2012, George Freeth brought a board to California. He showed some of the Californians surfing and how it should be done. This lit a fire. Things started to happen. Californians became very interested in this. A few years later, in 1912, a guy named Duke Kahanamoku came to the United States on his way to the Stockholm Olympics. He was a swimmer, went on to win a gold medal, but he brought a couple of boards to show the Californians. This lit a fire again, and Californians began surfing and they never stopped. A guy named Tom Blake, who was a craftsman, he was a carpenter, he built a hollow surfboard inspired by Duke Kahanamoku and is credited with being the first fin on a board according to Journal of Pacific History. Tom Blake, in turn, inspired many other people. Another guy that he inspired was an engineer named Bob Simmons. Bob Simmons was an innovator, and he had his hands on all sorts of new materials because of World War II. In the late 40s, he designed boards made out of fiberglass resin and fiberglass. And he's credited with putting 2 fins on a board for the very first time. So surfing stayed pretty much the same for a few years there, and surf culture began to build, and then the surfers started competing. It became a professional circuit for surfers. A guy named Mark Richards from Australia took Bob Simmons' ideas, built his own boards with 2 fins, and went on to win 4 championships in a row. Twin fins aren't for everyone, however. You had to be slight of build to be able to use a twin fin properly. Another Australian, a guy named Simon Anderson, who was a bigger fellow, decided he would try to change that and make a board with 3 fins in there. According to Stab Magazine, he's the first person to do this. He went on to win several contests, but his idea was genius. It's pretty much where we are today. The thruster concept shoots water out the back of the board due to the positions of the fins and makes the board very maneuverable, very fast, easy to control. So, in conclusion, it doesn't matter the size, shape, number of the fins, the magic of wave riding, harnessing nature's free energy. This has been the catalyst for innovation. Aloha.